my homage to the gem of the Supreme Buddha. The Buddha is my refuge every day. May my homage to the gem of the Supreme Dhamma. The Dhamma is my refuge every day. May my homage to the gem of the Supreme Sangha. The Sangha is my refuge every day. May my homage to the Supreme Triple Gem. The Triple Gem is my refuge every day. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Honor to the Supreme Buddha. Honor to the Supreme Buddha, the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. Meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends. First and foremost, I wish you all a happy Vesak festival, a happy Vesak New Year. This is the New Year for all the Buddhists in the world. Of course, in Sri Lankan context, that we tend to commemorate Bak festival as our New Year festival. That started when the invaders from India invaded us, especially after the kingdom of King Parakramabahu the first. That is Kalinga of that is Maga of the Kalinga state of India. There is a remarkable incident took place in the history of Sri Lanka, which of course destroyed the cultural, religious, economic, political background of Sri Lanka in those days, which contributed to emerge a kind of new way of life in Sri Lankan people, that is the commemoration of New Year festival in April. But when Buddhism, in the advent of Buddhism in 3rd century, when King Devanampiyathissa started a new culture, new Buddhist culture, with the advice of Arahant Mahinda Thero, who came from India, who is one of the chief disciples of Venerable Moggali Puttathissa Arahat Thero. Sri Lanka became a new religious state with a new culture nourished with Buddhism, in which our new state, in which our new cultural religious festival, the main one was Vesak festival, which commemorates the 3 cardinal incidents of our Bodhisattva: the birth of the Bodhisattva and attainment of enlightenment of Bodhisattva and passing away of the Supreme Buddha. So in the world, this 4 day is magnificent 4 day for all of us, because this is the poem in which the highest leader of the world and highest human being, magnanimous human being, noblest human being born to this world, who destroyed and dispelled the darkness of ignorance from the world. After a lapse of time, these supremely Buddhas emerge. So our Gautama Buddha, after three main Buddhas like Kakusanda, Konagama, Kashyapa emerge and appeared in the world, whose especially dispensation is still manifest in the world, it has spread worldwide, and especially according to the Supreme Buddha, it would establish in Sri Lanka. Now, Sri Lanka is the main Theravada country among all the Theravadins in the world. Now we have to understand who is the Supreme Buddha. Why Buddhas are born to this world? Supreme Buddha is a being, super being, of course human being, who have completed 10 perfections for eons and eons of time. Those are giving, dana, then sila, then nekkhamma, renunciation, panya, wisdom, virya, energy, shanti or patience, satya, truthfulness, aditthana, determination, metta, loving kindness, upekka, equanimity. So these are the 10 perfections completes by a bodhisattva before attaining enlightenment. So our bodhisattva, for 4 asankhya's and 100,000 kappas completed 10 perfections with the view to rescue our innocent beings in the world. So when he completed those 10 perfections, especially when he was a king called Vessantara, he completed the dana perfection there, completing all the 10 perfections, and was born in the heaven called Tusita, till he was invited by the gods to be born in the human world. After the invitation of the Devas, Bodhisattva especially paid attention on 5 factors. They are called Panchamaha Vilokana. That is, the time, is it a kind of appropriate time to be born as a bodhisattva in the world? Then secondly, the continent, then the country, then the caste, then the mother. So these 5 factors, Panchamaha Vilokana was paid attention on by the God in Tusita heaven, having seen these 5 factors were completed, He was conceived in the mother's womb Mahamaya, the Queen Maya. After 10 months, he, as a full grown baby, born to this world on a Vesak full moon Poya day. The very first time, on the very first occasion he was born to this world, first and foremost he was accepted by 4 guardian gods and then offered to the queen. Then this baby, special baby and especially marvelous baby, he started walking. When he was walking along the path as a baby, when he touches the ground, a lotus was bloomed. For the second foot also lotus was bloomed. Like that, 7 lotuses were bloomed in order to accept his little feet. After walking 7 steps, he uttered this magnificent utterance. Aggo hamasmi lokasa, jetto hamasmi lokasa, setto hamasmi lokasa, ayamantima jati nattidani punabbhavu. He is the chief of the world and he is the greatest person in the world. Like that he said, this is my last birth. After this, there is no birth to me. Now this is first lion roar of the Bodhisattva after being born. Now some people tend to proclaim these things have not been happened in Bodhisattva's birth. They tend to say they are what is called exaggeration, hyperbole. But in the Dhamma, in Buddha's teachings itself, they are explicated by the Buddha himself. There is a very important discourse in Majjhima Nikaya, Middle End Discourses, 3rd section, 3rd Vagga, called Accharyabhuta Discourse. Accharyabhuta Discourse that talks about what is called some magnanimous, magnificent and wonderful things in the life of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva. Miraculous incidents. So there all these incidents have been explicated by the Buddha himself. These things happen. But some people tend to say this is some kind of literature. Some literature, not the Dhamma. But there are 18,000 discourses. In 18,000 discourses, in this discourse, what is called Accharyabhuta Discourse, how the Bodhisattva was born, what are the miraculous things happened on that occasion, the walking and speaking and the water falling from the sky, all these things have been sufficiently explicated, vividly explicated. Therefore, some people are there, they always look at things in a kind of physical mind. They have no kind of what is called spiritual mind. They don't believe in spirituality. They always believe in some physical aspect only. Therefore, they tend to claim these things have not been happened, only they are mere hearsays and literature. But recently we learned a baby having born, after just being born, with the help of the nurse there, nurse is actually holding the baby is walking, baby started to walk. So if that kind of baby from the general mass can walk, what about what is called Bodhisattva, having completed 10 perfections for millions and trillions of years, can do. Therefore, meritorious devotees don't think, even though some foolish, fatuous, unwise people tend to propagate various wrong ideologies through internet, sometimes especially Facebook and other things, they have to actually suffer due to insulting the Bodhisattva, our supremely Buddha, for eons and eons of time in the hell. But they don't understand, they don't believe such things, but they continue insulting. There are some monks also, so-called monks adorning robes, they also have to suffer. But if you actually have a kind of unshakable confidence, mere confidence towards the Supreme Buddha, you will actually be fruitful for innumerable time. Yavata bhikkave satta apadava dipadava chatuppadava bahuppadava rupinova arupinova sanyinova asanyinova neva sanyi nasanyinova tathagato tesang aggamakkhayati arahan samma sambuddho ye bhikkave buddhe pasanna aggete pasanna agge kopana pasannanang aggo vipako hoti iti. In one of the discourses, Buddha says, among all the beings in the world, those who are footless or feetless, those who have 2 feet, those who have 4 feet, those who have multiple feet, those who have form, those who do not have forms, those who have perceptions, those who have not perceptions, those who have neither perception nor perception. Among all the beings, the Buddha is the highest person in the world. If one have faith or confidence on the Buddha, that is the greatest confidence in the world. So that person gain lot of merits due to that confidence towards the Buddha. So therefore, if you have that kind of unshakable confidence towards this supremely enlightened one, you can gain lot of merits. So on this Vesak full moon Poya day, try to take refuge in the Supreme Buddha wholeheartedly, and try to take refuge in the noble Dhamma expounded by the fully enlightened one wholeheartedly, and try to take the refuge in the Mahasangha, including Arahat Theras, wholeheartedly, then you will be beneficial Dhamma friends. The greatest refuge in the world is Triple Gem. When we are traveling in the sansaric life, the great help for us, aid for us, refuge for us is triple gem. That is why Buddha said, Yekech buddhan saranang gatase nate gamissanti apaya. If one takes the refuge in the Buddha and Dhamma Sangha, he will never be born in the hell. So this kind of power is there in the triple gem. So now people tend not to believe about this samsara, about next birth, about merits and demerits, about this world and next world, about hell and heaven. So they are actually possessing wrong views. Possessing wrong views itself gives rise to be born in the hell. Therefore, this is a very good day for all of us to get ourselves corrected. And first thing that we have to do is to take refuge in the triple gem wholeheartedly. Then try to practice Dhamma, starting, observing 5 precepts. Observing 5 precepts is a powerful thing. If you actually observe 5 precepts, you will be taken that thing into the heaven, into a pleasurable plane next time. Very powerful. And another pinkama that we can do is, meditation. Meditation, the bhavana. So Buddha says in various discourses, we have to practice, we have to accumulate merits as much as possible. Today there are wrong views in the society. Even collecting merits is something make us to be born again and again in the samsara. So collecting merits is lengthening the samsara. This is a completely wrong ideology recently emerged in Sri Lankan context by so-called arahats. Not our arahat like Sariputta Thera, Moggallana Thera, Mahakassapa Thera, Ananda Thera, Anuruddha Thera, and especially Mihindu Mahinda Thera. So those real arahants emphasize on collecting merits in order to get rid of sansaric life. But unfortunately these days so-called arahants appeared as arahants without attaining arahantship tend to spread wrong ideologies. You should not collect merits, they tend to say. So don't get deceived by those wrong ideologies. So this Vesak full moon Poya day is a very good Poya day for you to determine to listen to sublime Dhamma, pure Dhamma, expounded by the fully enlightened one. Exclusively listen to sublime Dhamma expounded by the fully enlightened one. So what is actually sublime Dhamma, pure Dhamma, expounded by the fully enlightened one? That is found in canonical texts, in the discourses. As I mentioned earlier on, there are 17,705 discourses. Some so-called monks and so-called people tend to put forward various ideologies. You don't, eat them, gobble up them. You ask them, from where you get this ideology? What is the discourse? Then they have nothing to say. They will actually, then they will bog down when you ask that question. Therefore, you have to be very careful as a follower of the Supreme Buddha. the Buddha has never said, don't accept even I have said. Now people tend to say in the Kalama discourse, Buddha has said, you don't believe even I have proclaimed. Therefore, you should not believe whatever said and uttered by Buddhist monks or the lay people according to their wish. Always we have to refer to what is called canonical texts and the discourses. Then you will not go astray. These days, our followers, the Buddhists, have gone astray due to various wrong ideologies. So that is a kind of debacle for your path to the attainment of Nibbana. These days, this is very complex situation in Sri Lankan context and in the world situation. Therefore, this Poya Day is very important for us. This is very important for Sri Lankan people as a national festival and the religious festival both. Generally, this is a religious festival. On the other hand, this is a national festival, because it is believed that our Sinhala nation was started on Vesak full moon Poya Day with the advent of Prince Vijaya and the retinue from latter country or latter region of India. And Buddha, when he was on the final when the Buddha was about to passing away, he addressed the god Sakra and asked and mentioned him to protect Sri Lanka, as it will be the state in the future which actually establish in which the establishment of Buddhism takes place. Therefore, God Sakra accepted the invitation from the Buddha, and Buddha and especially God Sakra asked the God Upulvan to do the rest, and God Upulvan came to Sri Lanka and protected our especially Prince Vijaya and the retinue by giving pure water, spirit water and the threads and all that. That is why our generation came to being like that. Then Pandu Vasudeva, Pandu Kabaya, like that various kings emerge, and especially King Devanam Piyatis, Muttasiva and King Devanam Piyatis, like that. But these things have been negated by some historians and some people without evidences. So these have been mentioned in the great chronicle, Mahavansa, and other chronicles in the world, in Sri Lanka especially. Therefore, nationally, this Poya Day is very important, and religious wise, this Poya Day is very important for Sri Lankan Buddhists. Therefore, meritorious devotees, on this day we have to respect the Supreme Buddha by practicing Dhamma on the one hand and offering things on the other hand. That is called Amisa Puja and Pratipatti Puja. So, the highest puja is Pratipatti Puja, and we have to do Amisa Puja too. Therefore, meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends, we have to commemorate this great occasion by engaging in various pinkamas, and people in the actually the followers, our devotees, do various pinkamas on this Poya Day according to their abilities. So continue those pinkamas, try to especially respect the Supreme Buddha with the practice Pratipatti Puja, then it will be helpful for us to put an end to this sansaric life. And that means we have to do both pujas, amisa and pratipatti, and that will be helpful for us to put an end to this dangerous sansaric life. May you be able to comprehend the Four Noble Truths within the regime of Gautama Buddha Sasana. May the Triple Gem bless you. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkhantu Buddha Sasanang. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkhantu Buddha Desanang. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkhantu tang sada. May you be well and happy.